Good morning, YouTube. So with today's video, I'm going to give you another top 10 summer cheapies for 2024 part 2. I thought I did this video initially a couple weeks ago, but it looks like I didn't. Before we get into it, please show YouTube and those lousy algorithms that you like this type of video by giving it one of these, please. This list will not be in any numerical order, but first one is going to be Hugo Boss Orange Feel Good Summer, launched in 2013. This is a very refreshing but fruity fragrance. So it's fruity with that apple in the pear. You are going to get some lemon, of course. You're going to have to get some sort of citrus and a summer scent, but as well, you are going to get some cucumber. So the cucumber does add a little bit more of maybe of like a watery, aquatic sort of feel. But this is also a little bit green with that green tea, a little moss. There is, I feel like there's musk, but there's not. And there's going to be a little bit of woods. Overall, very refreshing, very fruity, aromatic, like feel good summer. That's what this fragrance is. The title and the fragrance are perfect. They align perfectly. This is just more of a casual kind of fragrance, but if you want to wear it to work or school, by all means. But I think that this is just a fragrance for like a weekend, like a barbecue, casual night out, like let's say like the movies and dinner, pool party, that sort of bit. But if you want to wear it to work or school, by all means, longevity, you're going to get about 5 to 6 hours with this one here. Number 2, this is another very refreshing scent, like very refreshing because it has watermelon, and that's going to be Kenneth Reaction. This is just like casual. This is more refreshing than this one here. And I gotta state, this is probably the most refreshing one in this list by the looks of it. But there's other fruity notes such as like apple, there is melon, you're gonna get the typical citrus, some musk, a little bit of lily of the valley, and I believe a little bit of woods. What I feel like this is, it's just like a fruity, fresh, watery type of aquatic in a feel with like a musky nuance. That's pretty much it. This is marketed towards the men, but in my opinion, this easily could be a unisex fragrance because just like maybe like that lily of the valley, you guys might be able to pick it out more than I do. I really don't, but it's just like the fruity nuance. It doesn't really make this a really masculine fragrance. So I feel that because of like the fruity nuance, and there is a hint of sweetness, it might get more interest from the younger crowd. But at the same time, it may not, because this came out in 2007 or 2008. So it is a little bit more of an older fragrance. Actually, it might have been 04. I could be wrong. But it is an older fragrance regardless. But a young person can rock this absolutely easily. But some of the old guys out there, they might like this one as well, just because of like scent memories, or that they've worn it for years and they had it in their collection. But this is just the epitome of like laid back, casual summertime. Longevity, this is where it falters. No more than 3 hours. You might get 4, but generally it's like 3. Number 3 is sexy. Like when I mean sexy, like you hear the cops, like you hear the alarms. This, it's over sexy, okay? So like you wear this, the boys in blue, hell, if it's a hot police woman, woohoo! Because this stuff is indeed sexy. Gas Seductive Bleu. This is, in my opinion, very similar to YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. This is just the summer version. What makes this one like that has that similarities, and quite a lot of similarities, is going to be that cardamom. For me, it's the cardamom that is the most like prominent note. But there is like sand, you know, like grainy sand on the beach, that, which I don't know if that really adds anything, but there is going to be geranium, there is going to be some oceanic notes, some caviar, so you're going to get like that salty caviar, but as well from the oceanic notes. See, like the cops are coming. The cops are coming because this is just over sexy. I sound like one of the female influencers right now, and I'm not trying to be, but trust me when I tell you, this is sex. This is more of a night out fragrance than anything in my opinion, but there's also cashmere wood. There is pepper as well. But for the most part, just like a salty aquatic with that cardamom and maybe a little bit of geranium. Sex in a bottle. I am not one of those types of people that really like to cater to that sort of audience. But this, again, is sexy. Club, date. If you wear this on a date, your date is going to love it on you. Fragrance number 4, I find like the brand itself, they got some pretty good fragrances, especially for like 20, 30 bucks. Retail, this is gonna cost you way too much money, but Original Penguin, Original Blend. This is like musky, it's a little bit fruity, a little powdery. So there is going to be apple, most certainly the musk. I believe that there's a little bit of sandalwood. There's something called kaffir lime, which I've never heard of that. And I don't remember that kaffir lime being in it. You know, because I've talked about this one plenty of times and like Fragrantica has never stated that. So I don't know what's going on. But there is going to be some suede with a little bit of lavender and with that pepper and that nutmeg. The nutmeg and the pepper add a little bit of a spicy kick. Not over the top, but it definitely is there. This is just like an everyday fragrance. Longevity, you're gonna get about 6 hours with this one here. Fragrance number 5 is gonna be the most energetic, pep to your step type of scent in this list. Aro Chrome Aqua. What makes this one so energizing is going to be the mint. The mint in this is very prominent, so it's very green, but it's extra green because of the basil. There's gonna be some Granny Smith apple or some sort of apple. There is one of the citruses, whether it's grapefruit or lemon. There's a little bit of wood, some oceanic notes, and definitely the violet leaf. The violet leaf in this makes this a very airy type of scent, but just like an absolute banger. When it's hot, this, especially if you don't like the summertime, I just don't do well in the summertime. I have one of those hot cores. I wish it was a 6-pack type of hot. It's not, it clearly ain't, as you guys know, because I'm a bit of a chubby guy. But it's just, I could take a cold shower. I'm still a hot guy. Even when I was skinny, I was always hot. This is the type of fragrance that just makes me feel more calmer. Even though it's an energizing scent, just makes me feel calmer and able to deal with the heat. Longevity, you're gonna get about 5 to 6 hours with this one here. Next fragrance is a super citrusy, super fresh, and very aromatic fragrance. It's an older one. It's one of the older ones in this list. It's not the oldest, but it definitely is one of the older ones. Burberry Weekend. This is a hater-love scent, so there's not really much in between. So some people will say, it's all right, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But for the most part, you either really like it or you don't. When I first smelled it, I hated it. I felt like it smelled like Pledge. And in some ways, it still kind of does, because even though that there's like 4 to 6 different citruses, for me, this is very heavy in lemon. There is a little bit of pineapple, a little bit of melon, there is some ivy, but a lot of musk and a little bit of honey. There is just a small tinge of sweetness. So that might be from the pineapple, it might be from the melon, but it might be from the honey. It's not over the top, like sweet, or like the honey is really in your face. There's also a little bit of oak moss with maybe a little bit of sandalwood, but very casual, just like the name implies. Weekend, but you could wear this to work if you want to. This just might resonate with Gen X and older, the boomers. But if you're like Gen Z, millennial, you can absolutely rock this. At the end of the day, if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel happy, then wear it. Even if that fragrance came out 60, 70 years ago, wear it with confidence if it makes you feel great. But this, again, just might resonate with guys my age. But if you're a Gen Z, and Gen Z, yeah, drive me up the goddamn wall. It's kind of funny because like it's every generation, it just seems to get worse. You know, I definitely am an old guy because I bitch and complain about everybody and every generation. But again, a young person can absolutely rock this. This is, if I were to say for like a young guy, this is like maybe like an introductory type of fragrance. Like when you're a young guy, you generally don't have a large collection, nor should you have a large collection. Like when I mean young guy, I'm talking like teenager, okay? If you're in your early 20s and you got like 50 fragrances, that's financial irresponsibility. Hell, I'm 47. I got over 300 fragrances. That is financial irresponsibility. I am just saying. Relax there, old man. Relax your blood pressure. You're getting old. Next fragrance, unfortunately, this one did get crapped on a lot, whether it's the content creators or the straight men. in this community. I say straight men because it's the straight hetero dudes that take cologne, fragrances, perfumery way too seriously. So to all you people out there say, why do you gotta bring sexual orientation to this or gender? Because facts are facts, okay? Like shit. Old man, relax. Your blood pressure. Woo. All right. Mont Blanc Explorer Ultra Blue. Unfortunately, this one does get crapped on. It really does. Is it anything special or unique? Well, of course not. It's a designer scent. Like, these companies are looking to make money. Unless they're a niche company that's artistic, listen, they're gonna make mass appealing fragrance. That's what this is. It's got salty aquatic, it's got like musk, it's got like exotic fruits, whatever the hell that is. I don't get that exotic fruits. I do get citrus, however. There's also a little bit of ambergris that kind of like mans it up a little bit because it does add that musky nuance to it. But there's also some sort of like wood. So sandalwood, cedar, whatever. There is a little bit of woods. It's not driftwood though. But this is another high heat banger. Where is it? Like when it's really hot, this and this are the type of fragrances, including this. This is the one I was really originally looking for. These are the types of fragrances that you want when it's really hot. It's an everyday scent, it's school, it is work, longevity, not the best. You're gonna get about 5 hours. Fragrance number 8. This is super sexy. Like when I mean super sexy, I'm talking nail biter sexy. This also gets comparisons to a different type of fragrance, kind of like this. This is summer. This also gets the comparisons to YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. Well, number 8 gets comparisons to the one EDP D&G. Dunhill Icon Racing Blue. For me, it definitely does have some similarities. So what makes this one similar is going to be the cardamom. The cardamom is definitely quite prominent in this, as well as the one, but I feel like there is some sort of like amber note or like an ambery undertone. Amber is not a listed note, but whether that's ladamum, benzoin, or amber, there's something a little resinous to my nose. There is something resinous, but there's definitely a lot of lime. There is ambergris, driftwood, there is sea salt, neroli, sure, and I believe a little bit of ambroxan and some other woody nuance. It might be patchouli, it might be vetiver, but for me, this is a great night out fragrance. Whether it's like a date, like a casual date, or like a suit and tie type of date, I think that this will do wonders. You can also wear this to work. Now, is it overly sexy? No, but like you could definitely wear the one to work. It's a very versatile fragrance. So if you wear the one during the autumn and wintertime, this is a great spring and summer version of it. Just switch it up. Longevity, you're gonna get about 6 to 7 hours. Fragrance 9 and 10 are gonna be the oldest ones in this list. Yep, the oldest ones in this list. But number 9 is definitely the oldest. Launched in '93. Calvin Klein Escape for Men. A lot of people who have commented on the video that I did with Chad Secrets say that this has been reformulated and it doesn't smell the same. I wish I smelled the original, but whatever I smell from this, it smells damn good. So there's definitely a lot of wood. So you are gonna get fir, birch, there is sandalwood, there's gonna be some fruity melon, some mango, some herbal tones of like sage and rosemary, there is eucalyptus. I don't like eucalyptus at all in my fragrances, but in this, and I think I was it in one of these other ones? Maybe not. But in this, it's actually done quite nicely. There's also gonna be some musk and so on. Just like a woody aquatic with a lot of fruity, fresh undertones to it. Very aromatic. This is gonna be a signature scent for a lot of older guys out there. But even though like this is an older fragrance, to me, any age could rock this. And what's great about the young people, I know that I rag on them. Hey, listen, I come across as an old grumpy guy. I do it just for comedic purposes. But even though I am a little bit of a grumpy older man, I will state that. But the amount of like how much I give a hard time on camera, I don't do that in real life. But the great thing about the younger guys out there is that they brought back the 90s fashion. Now, as an older guy who dressed like that, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? That's just reality. That just comes with age. I find that the 90s fashion on Gen Z would complement this very well. It would still be a little bit different because, you know, like we didn't grow up with cell phones and everybody has a cell phone nowadays. Everybody. But it would kind of be like a bit of a time capsule in a sense, because like you're just looking back a lot of these young people with like the 90s fashion, the hair and the fragrances, and be like, wow. Kind of feels like I'm young again, but you're not. Longevity, you're gonna get about 5 to 6 hours. In fragrance number 10, this is a very sentimental fragrance for a lot of guys my age. Ralph Lauren Polo Sports. This is just so iconic with the 90s. If you're a Gen Xer, you more than likely wore this because it was everywhere. Like so many young guys rocked it. The ads were everywhere, but this is just a 90s icon. Along with like this in some ways, Tommy Hilfiger, Tommy, Armani's Acqua di Gio, Aro's Chrome, but just this, I feel like got Ralph Lauren to that next level because I kind of feel like they were more of an older person's fashion brand. But when they catered to the young guys out there or like the younger men, then it just brought them like a whole, like got them so much more attention. But yeah, just sent memories, just flooding back. So definitely like a lot of citruses. There is a little bit of florals. I don't really per se get the florals. And like those florals are like jasmine, there's like geranium, there is cyclamen. Very aldehydic though. Aldehydic, maybe a little bit of seaweed. Seaweed is listed as a no, but I don't really get that. I do get like aquatics, aldehydes, citrus, ginger, a little bit of a musky woods towards the base, but absolutely just scent memories. Like I really should do like a top 5 scent memory fragrances in my collection. I really should. And guys, that is another top 10 summer cheapies for 2024 part 2. Any reviews that I've done on these fragrances, they will all be down in the description box below. If you like this type of video, please again show YouTube and the algorithms that you like this type of video by leaving one of these, please. What videos to watch next? Well, because this is a summer cheapie list, why don't you see years prior? Not the one I did last month, but like whether it's last year, the year before, or whatever. Check out right here. I thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.